Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Mothers know all about life's tricky transitions. Thankfully, Ollie helps you prioritize wellness through every age, life stage, or magnificent mood change. Need a multitasking multivitamin that keeps up with you? How about an essential prenatal for you and baby? Ollie's got you through it all. Life's tricky. Your wellness routine shouldn't be. Get what you need at ollie.com.
We meet Dave on July 29th.
And then the plan is to fly him from LA to Delaware?
Yes.
To do the work. So clearly this was all unpermitted work.
Yes, it was
Well, clearly for shipping people who don't have a license there.
This is the plaintiff, Asa Watkins. He says he hired the defendant to redo 3 bathrooms in his house in Delaware, and the lackluster guy did almost nothing. Now he won't return his money. He's royally trying to rip him off. He refuses to be taken advantage of and is here suing the crook for the $2,815.99 he's owed. This is the defendant, Dave Echeverria. He says he put a lot of work into the plaintiff's house and deserves to be paid. Besides, he was told all materials would be there for him to install. They weren't, and he ended up wasting a lot of time at Home Depot. He's accused of doing squat.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is presiding. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mr. Watkins, you are suing on behalf of yourself and Carrie Wee, Mr. Echevarria, for $2,815.99 that you say you paid him that he did not earn. So, Mr. Watkins, tell me what happened here.
Okay, so basically, we met David as of 7/29/2022. And so basically, he was introduced to myself and Carrie Wee, that's my partner, my soulmate. He was introduced to us by my sister, Anika. And
had he done work for Anika?
He had did some work for Anika. Yeah,
okay.
he basically doing some odd jobs here and there, I guess. But she had told us that he works for different other contractors and he could probably help us out.
And what was it you needed help with?
Well, we needed help with 3 bathrooms. We had 3 bathrooms that were.
You're from where?
We live in Los Angeles, and we bought the home in Wilmington, Delaware.
Bought the home where?
In Wilmington, Delaware.
So you needed help with 3 bathrooms in Delaware?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I did demo on 2 of the bathrooms, but I knew that I couldn't put the bathrooms back together.
Okay. So were you moving to Delaware, or what was the?
We at the time, this was kind of. I guess that was more so toward the end of COVID. So we just wanted to make sure we had a backup plan in case something went kind of crazy or whatever.
In LA.
In LA, because obviously the prices is just nuts in LA right now.
Okay. So, all right. So go on.
Basically, we meet Dave on July 29th.
And then the plan is to fly him from LA to Delaware?
Yes.
To do the work. So clearly this was all unpermitted work.
Yes, it was on, yeah. Well,
clearly for shipping people who don't have a license there. But anyway, go on.
Basically, we decided on a price, $1,700 for 7 days of work. 7 days of work. So We take care of everything. We take care of hotel. We take care of.
So you pay for his flight, you pay for his hotel, and you're paying for his labor. That amount that you said, the $1,700, is for 7 days of labor.
That's 7 days of labor.
Okay,
so
got it.
He flies out there on August 15th.
What time does he get there?
He got there about maybe, I think his flight landed somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
In the afternoon. And so basically, he gave me a call. David likes to do a lot of FaceTime. No problem. We FaceTime. He said, hey, I'm here. I'm going to go pick up the U-Haul truck. He goes to pick up the U-Haul truck. And then I think he said after that, he was pretty much going to go to the hotel, get checked in, and then he was going to head over to the house, but he would probably take a nap. No problem. No problem. He never made it to the house that night. We didn't really have a problem with that. He was probably tired. That's the first night. So we still have 6 days left. No issues there. So things start getting a little fuzzy when we get to the next morning.
Are you saying that first day when he gets in at 3 in the afternoon, which is Eastern time?
Eastern time.
Okay, but was that a full day you had expected him to work? Did that count?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you didn't. All right, go on.
So we get to the next morning, that Tuesday morning, and this is where things start getting really, really crazy. I literally have to call and wake Dave up. I called Dave 10:45 a.m. in the morning.
Eastern time?
Eastern time.
Okay.
And I can tell he's just waking up. I say, hey, Dave, I don't see the truck at the house. I have cameras around the house. So you always know when someone's just waking up. So he's like, oh, well, okay, well, I'm headed there right now. He gets to the house at 11:06 a.m.
Had he been anywhere before that?
I don't know.
But not working for you?
Not working for me.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So basically, he gets there 11:06. He spends maybe an hour and 15 minutes there. For that whole day, for August the 16th, Dave spent maybe a total of 2 hours there.
Okay, so 2 hours on the site, but was he doing anything else for you off the site?
He went to Home Depot maybe twice. Home Depot is about 2.5 miles from that house.
Okay. And to do what, though, at Home Depot? What would
purchase.
Had you purchased anything?
So basically, I have something called a pro account at Home Depot.
Right, so you have an account at Home Depot, but I'm saying, were the products at the house ready for him, or no, he had to go to Home Depot to get them?
He had to go to Home Depot and pick them up.
Okay, are we talking about just lumber and things like that, or are we talking about picking out the toilets and the...
So basically, we're talking about shower heads. He picked up flooring that we had ordered.
Okay, so you had ordered the flooring. Had you ordered the shower? Had you picked out already the shower heads?
Not yet. Not yet.
So he's picking out shower heads. All right, and so were you surprised that you were the one that you were responsible for picking out the toilet and the tub and the shower head and the vanity or whatever, that they had left you in charge of that?
Yes, Your Honor, because basically it's not my residence. I do not know what particular items he likes. I mentioned to him that he needed to pick out what he liked, already have it at the house. Installing it wouldn't be a problem. But I just can't go and pick out a product that's not my residence. And,
well, you can if someone tells you can.
Colors and things like that, and I presented some copies of the way things come at Home Depot or Lowe's. He already had shower pans installed.
You think you need to tell me the way things come at Home Depot or Lowe's? Like, if people ask me my hobby, it's Home Depot or Lowe's.
It's kind of hard for me to pick out certain, people like high toilets, medium toilets, low toilets.
Right, but it's not that big. Like, can't you just FaceTime with him and say, okay, it's this, which one do you like?
Well, the deal was for him to have everything that he wanted.
Yeah, no, that apparently didn't happen, and he says that wasn't the deal.
Right.
So I don't know, because did you guys have anything in writing?
No.
Do you have anything in text that says, you pick everything out, I trust you? Do you have anything in text where you are shocked that things aren't waiting for you?
I FaceTimed him and said that, nothing.
So the answer is no. There's nothing recorded before this lawsuit that would lead me to conclude what the actual deal was between you guys. But I got to tell you, it is unusual to leave the workman in charge of picking things out. It's like, well, oh my God. And then he picks out stuff that I think is super tacky and, but go on.
So I was really flabbergasted on the whole situation when I was,
Why do you need to be flabbergasted? You're getting paid by the day. What difference does it make?
Well, the whole thing, I don't have my truck, my tools. I'm well equipped to install everything. I didn't have the tools that were promised were going to be there. He said I could rent them. He had a plumber come in, and if I have evidence right here of the shower kits, how they come with the walls and everything all complete. I just can't put walls. You have to order the walls to measure the shower pan. So I wasn't pretty much not able to do anything. The shower pans, the floor part was already installed. None of the valves were installed, nothing. It was just like I was cleaning up somebody else's mess.
Wait, what's the mess by the shower pan already being installed?
You have to special order the walls to match that pan.
If you do a kit, but what if you don't do a kit?
You got to order the walls to match that shower pan.
Okay, now, but I need you to listen to what I'm asking. There are kits for showers, and there are not kits for showers. And then you can just tile and whatever else you're going to do because you're not using a kit.
Exactly.
So what is this about buying walls?
At first, he had mentioned he wanted tile. I said tile's going to take way too long to do in a week. So I mentioned shower kits. He goes...
But he had also said that he'd fly you back again if you didn't finish.
Yeah, he was going to fly me back several times to finish the job because I couldn't do everything in a week.
Okay.
The initial agreement was for him to fly out there with me so we could be on the same page and go walk through the house so I could...
You're going to have to prove all the things you guys are saying. Both of you, though.
Yeah.
You've got, you're both, like, that wasn't the agreement. You understand now why you need to have something in writing?
Yes,
and
I
if
do.
you don't have a contract, at least have texts so that each side understands where the other side's coming from. Do you have any texts that talk about how he was supposed to be out there with you? Any emails, anything to prove the things you are saying?
I did, but at that same time, my phone actually went down and I had to return it. And then when it was supposed
How
to...
about you?
That's not true because I would have that same text. So no, I don't have that text.
Do you
but
have
what-
any texts that
So
show
do-
anything to
I
prove
do-
what you're saying?
I do have text showing where he actually sees what he's going out there to actually
Let me
work
see.
on.
Again, I'm just kind of, if someone has already installed the bottom, then just don't do a kit and just tile. What difference does it make to you?
Basically, he has to pick out the tile. That's what's supposed to be done. But the walls need to be cut and stuff like that. But I don't have the tools to do that. If he had sent me over there, all my tools are at home. So, and none of the tools that he
So what was the plan when you got there? If you know you don't bring your tools, he was supposed to know what tools you need?
He had mentioned to me that all the tools I would need would be there at the residence.
How would he know what tools you need?
That's what he had said. Anything you need.
All right, so whatever. The bottom line is you need to get a whole set of tools on his nickel.
Not the whole set of tools, but certain tools.
Whatever tools you needed.
Yes,
you need
ma'am.
to get them on his nickel. And you need to order things that you didn't think you were going to order. But once again, what difference does it make when you're being paid by, for the day than just, you know how to pick stuff. You've done your own bathrooms. So what went wrong between you guys?
It's just the toilets were taken out. He had no measurements. I had no way of measuring.
What do you mean he had no measurements? You're there to measure.
No. I was supposed to demo the bathrooms, first of all. They were already demoed.
Tell me listen to me. My father was a contractor. My
Right.
brother's a contractor. I come from a long line of contractors.
Right.
So what's the problem with the toilet not being there? Why can't you just measure where the plumbing is and figure out what toilet
Well, I could do that, but then there I go. There's several toilets, and I took pictures of the several toilets that you need to be able to pick. I can't just buy a toilet and install it.
Why
there's different
not?
sizes.
That's what he was
Because there's
tasking
high,
you to do.
low, and medium toilets.
Right, so then you ask him, high, low, or medium? I don't understand where everything goes wrong.
Well, the things changed a little bit too because when I initially got there, he wanted me to change all the locks. Okay, so I was over there buying. I had to rekey the whole house.
Yeah, so?
And I bought all the locks.
Again, this is where I don't understand.
Well,
it's not like you were being paid to finish a job, and if you didn't finish the job, you weren't going to get paid. And if he added new things to it, it would stop you from finishing the job. All these things are great complaints if you were being paid by the job, and all of a sudden he has added work to your job. But you were being paid by the day.
Right.
So if he asks you to stare at the tree outside and you're going to get paid, what do you care? I'm not getting why this was a problem for you. It's a problem for him. It's going to take a lot longer to do everything.
Right.
And he's going to pay you to do it. Why is it a problem for you?
Well, basically, I was doing what he was asking me to do. When I got there, nothing was there, like I said. The person that was supposed to rekey the locks wasn't there, so I had to go back. The gentleman that was doing it, I used to work for Home Depot, didn't really have the know-how how to do it, so he had the kit, and I was trying to, help him out. It took a couple hours just to do all that.
Okay.
Okay, and then he wanted a keyless remote where, you got to type in a combination, and he wanted me to match it to his phone so he can open it from where he lived. Well, you can't do that. And I was trying to explain it to him that you have to be there with the phone to program it. Okay.
The first time on the same network.
Yes, ma'am. Then he decided to hire a locksmith to come out and install it.
Okay.
The locksmith, I meet him there. The locksmith has no idea how to even install that lock because he's never done one before.
Okay.
And then, so I stayed there until about 12 or 1 in the morning to let the locksmith stay there and to install these
The
locks.
locksmith was there until 12 or 1 in the morning?
Yeah.
And according to you, you're shaking your head, and according to you, what?
Because half of it is just totally a lie.
No, just tell me the part about how long he stayed there.
Okay,
Is
so
that not true?
He was actually there till about maybe 11. I have the
PM?
actual time.
PM?
I have the 11 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? So now we're on Tuesday, and what happens? When do things go south between you and Mr. Watkins?
Basically, the next couple of days, because I had to go pick up the flooring at Home Depot, which was supposed to be there. I had to wait for that. But I had more time traveling. I spent more time looking for the product and getting help at Home Depot because help is not always there. And I spent a lot of time at Home Depot trying to get what he needed.
So you go to Home Depot and tell me exactly what you were forced to pick out so I can
Shower
gauge.
valves.
Like shower valves. What else?
To pick up the flooring.
Yep.
Pick up the locks for the house.
Yep.
Then just waiting for them to bring out the products and rekey the locks. That's, time right there. Still looking for, I had to buy Wonder Board, for the bathrooms for the walls. So I was just basically shopping while they were doing what they needed to do for the locks and pulling the floor.
Okay, so you bought the shower valves, the flooring, the locks, and Wonder Board. What else?
Pretty much that was it. I had to buy a torch.
Did you get any work done on the bathrooms on Tuesday?
I pulled the cabinet, the lighting, and the sink.
You pulled the cabinet, the lighting, and the sink, and you're shaking your head. Why?
Because that happened on Wednesday. Do you mind if I go back just a
No,
little bit?
hold on. Did you do that on Tuesday or did you do that on Wednesday?
I think I did that on Wednesday.
Okay, so did you do any work on the bathrooms on Tuesday?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so now it's Wednesday, and what work do you do?
I pulled, I pulled the cabinet that he wanted pulled out, the lighting and the sink. He wanted me to install the flooring, but you can't install the flooring because nothing was ready for the flooring to be installed.
Meaning?
Meaning the showers need to be done first. If I was to put the flooring down, it would get ruined. And I didn't want to ruin the brand new floor he had just bought if the other things weren't ready to be done yet.
So did you say that to him?
Yes, I did. I tried to explain how things go in a fashion, how everything goes in order. Then the flooring goes last. He wasn't understanding what I was explaining. Okay.
Or he was disagreeing.
He was disagreeing.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
All right, so if he says put the flooring in, why don't you just put the flooring in? Because you can protect the flooring when you're doing the other side. I agree with you that the flooring should go last, but I'm just saying.
Well, because if I cut it wrong and it's not matching, it's not, you know what I mean?
Why would you cut it wrong?
Because the walls are not put up yet.
All right, so you now start getting angry that you feel like he's milking it.
Absolutely. But, okay, as far as I think you asked a question about what he was doing when the locksmith was installing the locks. Well, what David was doing, David had been fired by then. I have no idea what this alternative story is he made up.
He's wrong about when the locksmith was there?
When the locksmith was there,
Was the
that
locksmith
on
there
Wednesday.
Tuesday night or Wednesday night?
Wednesday night. Dave had already been fired by then. I mean,
right.
we didn't spend $2,800.
So, but you've come to court and you're suing for $2,815.99. So you want him to pay you back the deposit that you paid him. You want him to reimburse you for the round-trip flight. You decide to fire him, so now there's a $443.59 flight change fee, and you want him to reimburse you for your decision. You want him to reimburse you for the hotel, the U-Haul, $200 in Ubers, and the locksmith charge. So it's not enough for you to just say, you know, I made a gamble here. I brought somebody from California to do work over there. He seems not to be as industrious as I'd like. Let's just bring him back, cut my losses, lick my wounds, and hire somebody else to do it, maybe from Delaware or whatever. That's not enough for you. You actually want this man to pay you back every penny you invested in him, even though there is work he did do. It might not be particularly industrious or lightning speed, but, you know.
Well, he took 4 things down. That's not work. Like that's.
Well, no, not if you're in town. But if you fly across the country and then you leave your family and then you're away and and you make time and you don't have other work because you've blocked off that's something. Because see, you shouldn't have done that. That was a crazy thing to do. You realize now that you have to pick the person from the neighborhood who understands it, you know, and it's not, I don't know what you think in California. What do you think? There's nobody who does work under the table in Delaware? I mean, you know, come on, you know, I mean, that's like, so eventually you figured that out and you've been hiring Delaware people.
Absolutely.
Right. What should be like imagine if he was in California and then you hired him to work by the day and then he worked on day one and you go, I didn't get my money's worth out of you. Let's see how you do tomorrow. And then he works on day 2, and then you just fire him. That's it. Yeah. But no, because you decided to do this crazy thing where you're flying. Now he's got to pay you $3,000?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because you had a bad idea?
It was a bad idea, but he accepted the offer. So.
I understand that, and I would expect more out of him, too. I don't know what he spent all day Wednesday doing. So I understand if you're coming here and suing, saying, you know what, he didn't earn his $200 whatever dollars I'm paying him a day, because look at what he did Wednesday and look at what he did Tuesday. He's really just standing around. But you're suing for, like, every penny you unwisely invested in bringing a handyman from California to Delaware. All right, so now, Mr. Echevarria, I am surprised that for 2 full days, you know, this is all you got done. Now, having said that, let me talk to you. Let me explain to you what a lawsuit is. You are entitled to the foreseeable damages, okay? But what you want is all of this money that you stupidly put into a dumb idea, as though there was ever a world where he thought he'd have to pay for the airfare and pay for the change. Not only, I mean, you got a lot of nerve. You're asking for the change fee that was your decision on there. Instead of, see, you know what I would have done? I would have yelled at him and gotten some work out of him, paid him his week, and then never hired him again. And told my sister, don't hire him again. He milked me. And then you just kind of move on. But not you. Not you. You want him to pay you back $3,000. Like, in what world am I going to do that? I am going to order him to pay you back 1 day's wages, because I did think he milked it. $242.85. Verdict for the plaintiff. That's my verdict.
So the plaintiff prevails, but not to the tune he was hoping for. He only gets $242, not $2,800. Mr. Echevarria, you heard the judge. She really let you have it, in a way. You were milking the plaintiff.
I don't feel like I was milking it. I was trying to do the best job I could do for him. Unfortunately, he wasn't happy with it. I tried to explain my case, and it wasn't understood well. So it is what it is, and, you know, he got what he needed.
Do you think you'll ever do a job like this again if somebody wants you to fly across the country?
Probably not. It was probably my fault for taking the job, trying to see if I could help somebody else out, but it didn't work out to my advantage.
Yeah, no, it sure didn't. All right, sorry about that, but that's the way it is. Okay, $242. You're lucky. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, sir. All right, the exit is on your left. Now let's see what Mr. Watkins has to say. He was hoping for a lot more money. He didn't get it. Mr. Watkins, what are you thinking?
I thought I should have got more back. She gave me back just a day's worth of work, $240. So that was kind of, that wasn't great. But I guess it's something. But really, it's nothing compared to what we put into the guy. I mean, we got nothing. So
yeah. Well, it was a bad decision. Well, I hope you've learned a lesson.
I definitely learned the lesson not to hire a clown. That's what I learned. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I take from it.
Very good. All right, let's see what Harvey has to say. Harvey?
So, Doug, this is a principle that first-year law students learn. The concept is called foreseeability, that if somebody, say, breaches a contract, you can get damages as a result for anything that is foreseeable. It can't be something so bizarre that you couldn't possibly see it coming, but it can be far, far into the future that somebody is liable.
I live in Massachusetts, and I hired a personal trainer and paid them $75 up front and signed a contract where it states no refunds. I had shoulder issues and had surgery last year and re-injured my shoulder now. Medically, I can't work out. Can I demand a refund?
No.
Because you signed a contract
and
that
it
says
said
no
refunds.
refunds.
So, and it's not as though you're, I mean, one day you'll be able to work out. That's just a matter of...
People get hurt working out all the time.
Yeah, and then
I've seen it happen at the gym, and it's happened to me. So if you were a trainer and you didn't have this kind of a provision in your contracts...
Yeah, people would just be canceling all the time, and you wouldn't be able to eat. You wouldn't be able to put food on the table.
They would come up with mysterious thigh injuries and stuff that come and go when they wanted them to.
You're entitled to have, depending on the contract you signed, I'm assuming it says it doesn't have like a time limitation.
Right.
And so when you heal, whenever you're ready, you'll have your training session.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop Black Friday week starting November 21st.
This is the plaintiff, Eric Ramos. He says he brought his car to the defendant's car wash, and in the middle of the wash, his car crashed into the car in front of it. The nasty defendant refuses to take responsibility for his dilapidated wash system, and he's here suing for the $1,188.11 in damages to his 2016 Lexus. This is the defendant, Kyle Bible. He says the car in front of the plaintiff applied their brakes during the wash, which caused the mishap. His business clearly states he's not responsible for the actions of others on the premises. Besides, he says all the guy has is a cracked license plate cover, and he needs to sue the car who was in front of him because it's his fault. He's accused of being all wet.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff claims that his car was damaged in a car wash because it ran into another car due to a mechanical problem, and the defendant won't pay up. But the defendant says the plaintiff stepped on his brakes in the car wash, and that's a big no-no. It's the case of wash and sue.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ramos, you are suing the car wash company represented here by the general manager, Kyle Bible, for $1,188.11 in damages to your car. What happened?
I took my car in on September 29th, 2021, and normal day bought a gift card there. I took my car in. I drove inside the system. Maybe a couple minutes in, like a minute or so into the car wash, I just heard some honking, at a distance. And all of a sudden I hear an impact, and then I hear a crack. So there was no brake lights in front of me. Nothing happened. And afterwards, I guess it was Trevor, which is the assistant general manager, walked inside there and started having some of the cars separate themselves. Apparently it was like a multi-car pileup. So from what they told me afterwards, several cars in front of me had applied their brakes or something had happened, and their conveyor system just pulled all these cars in together. So hypothetically, one car.
Okay, but hold on one
front.
second. So this is one of those car washes where you're supposed to put it on neutral and nobody's supposed to touch anything, and everybody just goes timed through the car wash. And so somebody along the path did not have it in neutral and pressed on the brake and and then the cars. How many cars piled up?
From my understanding, it was at least 3 or 4 cars from what they told me. I'm not sure exactly. I know the car in front of me did not apply the brakes.
Okay, now you have some dash cam footage?
That's correct.
And what does that footage purport to show?
It shows me entering the car wash, and then it actually you can listen and you can hear the honking, And then from there, you can hear you can see, kind of hear the impact.
Give me 1 second, and let's play the video. I hear the horn. That's the impact?
That's correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay, how is that $1,000-something worth of damage? Let's look at the damage in the pictures. What does this picture purport to show me?
The thing is, on that image, you can see the bumper was actually pushed into the headlight, and then it scraped the headlight on both sides. So it's one side, the other side, and then also, too, there's like a stress bump on the bumper.
What year car is this?
2016.
Lexus?
That's correct, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do I see damage to the front other than on the license plate cover?
There's one area, I think I sent that, it's like a stress bump. It's not really that visible.
I do see this, which is just a crack in the rubber of your license plate. Oddly, I don't see any damage to the actual license plate. Okay, let me hear from you, Mr. Bible.
Okay, so there was an incident at the car wash where two cars in front of him applied the brakes, which conveyor keeps moving. So you hit the brakes, that car skips over the rollers, and the cars behind are still getting pushed forward. So there was a small impact. As soon as the guy who loads in the cars heard the horn, shuts down the car wash immediately. Afterwards, Trevor, assistant manager, he looked at the car. He saw, all he could see the damage was that crack on the backing behind the license plate.
Right, the rubber part, yeah.
The rubber part. And at that point, he tried to explain we have a disclaimer before coming in saying any collision due to braking, steering, we're not responsible for. But we do try to help out customers in, situations like these. So Trevor called me the next day, told me it was very little damage, probably just the license plate frame. I said, if it is just that, see if we can help him out. Send him over to a body shop that we've used in the past.
And then what happens? He asks you for how much?
It was $1,400.
Okay, and then I know because I've seen the estimate from Lexus that it's $1,000. So where did you get the $1,400 request from, Mr. Ramos?
The place they referred me to that they've referred other people to, I explained to them that I had hit a car in front of me. And the estimate from the place that they suggested that I go to, they quoted $1,400 for that same repair. But the place another place that I went to for the same repair, they quoted $1,006.11.
Right.
And then,
so did you call the place you referred him to, Mr. Bible, and ask them?
I did. I spoke to the shop manager. He wasn't aware that this accident even happened at the car wash. And he said the damages that were being pointed out by the plaintiff were on the side, and he doesn't believe that they happened at the car wash at all.
The thing that concerns me the more, though, about this is, Mr. Ramos, what did the car wash do wrong? It sounds like somebody in there didn't follow the rules that are very clearly marked in front of the car wash that say they're not responsible for when someone pumps the brakes. But I imagine that there's something else you didn't show me that says what all these car washes say, which is put it in neutral and don't touch anything, right? Isn't there some instruction to people beforehand? Do you have a picture of that?
I don't have a picture on me, but you could see in the dash cam video, the gentleman that loads them on, he points to a sign that says hands off wheel, foot off brake.
Right.
Windows up.
There is such a sign, right, Mr. Ramos?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Okay. It sounds to me, Mr. Ramos, that through no fault of your own, your car got damaged. I agree with you. What I'd like to understand is, other than the deep pocket, why are you suing them? What did they do wrong? They have a disclaimer. They have instructions for everybody. And then some other dum-dum in front of you pumped the brakes. So why aren't you suing that person? Why are you suing the car wash? In other words, for them to owe you the money, they have to have done something wrong. What did they do wrong?
Their conveyor system wasn't operating correctly. So as soon as one car impacted into the other car, the system or the conveyor system should have stopped. Instead, it caused a multi-car pileup.
I don't know what you're talking about. That happens in seconds, and the guy it's a manual shutoff when that happens, and they.
Thing is,
okay, I'm gonna short circuit this, Mr. Ramos. I agree with you. Through no fault of your own, you have car damage. How much might be, an area of debate in this case, but I don't even need to get to that because I don't know what you think they did wrong. That happens in seconds. As soon as there's a horn, there's a stop of the conveyor belt, and there's a couple of cars that end up running into each other. We're talking about something that's less than 10 seconds. So I guess you're saying, well, that's not fast enough. But we are talking about the slightest of impacts that sounded very, very light. And I realize that you can do a lot of damage with even a light impact. I understand that. There's nothing you can point to that they did wrong, other than, I guess, not turn it off fast enough. I don't know. What's the distance between the cars, Mr. Bible?
6 to 9 feet.
And do you have any evidence that that's somehow beneath an industry standard, Mr. Ramos?
No, I don't, but I've read other reviews from other individuals that have said that the spacing is actually not very far. I don't know exactly what the standard is, to be honest. I just know that there are certain systems that are in place that prevent this kind of damage.
You should go to those places then, because most places don't have what you're talking about. All right. I don't find that the car wash is responsible for what happened. I think that their disclaimers cover them. And I think that you have a very good case against the first car who applied his brake despite being told not to apply his brake. Do you have the name and number of the driver and the information of the driver of the first car?
No, I don't. They have not provided. The only thing I have is a license plate of the person.
I presume that you folks have the name and number of the first car that pumped the brakes?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to make sure that you... Just a second, Mr. Ramos. I find that they're not responsible, but I'm going to order you to give him the license plate of the first car and the video that allows you to conclude that that car was responsible. Is there any problem with that, Mr. Bible?
No.
Great. That's what we're going to do. Verdict for the defendant.
So the defendant prevails in this case. They do not have to pay the plaintiff for damages to his car. Mr. Ramos, what are you thinking right now? How do you feel about this?
Not great. I mean, the thing is, it's completely the fault of the car wash. The thing is, I don't think they even have the license plate of the car that actually pressed the brakes. They had told me before it was a car in front, which they didn't press the brakes. So I don't know how they're going to be able to provide me that information.
Well, unfortunately, you couldn't pin this on them, so I'm sorry for you, but you can't collect from them. But they can give you the license plate number of the guy in front of you, and, you know, good luck for whatever you can do with that, okay? Sorry, but that's the judge's decision. Mr. Bible, let me ask you a question. It's very interesting. You have a long list of at least 12 items that you claim not to be responsible for. What's interesting is that's inside the car wash after you're already in line about to go into the wash bay itself. Isn't that a little late to see that sign? If I looked at that sign then, out front, I might back out and not use you. But by then it's too late. How about that?
No, it's actually before. In the photo, you can see the menu. It's actually before you even pay.
All right. Well, it protected you here in this case. You didn't have to pay $1,100, so congratulations. You're off the hook, okay? Good luck to you.
Thank you. Love the show.
All right. Okay. That'll bring this car wash dispute to a close. Harvey, what are your thoughts?
Okay, Doug, two things. One, obviously, the plaintiff could turn around and sue the driver of that car that caused the damage. That's kind of a no-brainer. But I want to mention one other thing. When you go to a car wash, you should routinely walk around your car inspecting it before you drive off the lot. Because if there's damage and you drive off the lot, good luck getting anything from the car wash. They're going to say you did it somewhere else. You should do it right on the spot and then call the manager over if there's damage.
Judge John, is there a pinball machine you've always wanted in your collection but don't have?
There's a bunch of pinball machines that I want, but I don't have. And I guess at the top of the list, I'm going to put probably The Hobbit, which is a great game. It's kind of expensive, and I think a lot of people don't want to part with them once they have them. But I'm going to bide my time till I find the right one in the right place where I don't have to drive 3,000 miles to pick it up.
Which you've done several times.
I don't like shipping these things. I don't want to trust them to shippers, so I usually just go and get them, as you know. And I'm going to say The Hobbit. There's a couple others. Back to the Future I kind of want because I like the movies. RoboCop, kind of an interesting game. I haven't been able to find one. Never played it. Just looks kind of cool. But you, as a pinball widow, maybe you could tell us what your favorite pinball game is.
Do you not see the glazed look in my eye right now? Honestly, it's just something to keep you out of my hair.
Right. It's like when I'm listening or watching baseball or golf and I start just chattering away and you just go,
And then sometimes I just have to tell you, you do know I just don't care, right?
So what about you? You play pinball once in a while.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You have a favorite game?
I have a special place in my heart for Pirates of the Caribbean because it's the first one you bought. And I bought it with you. We traveled by car to Atlanta.
Right.
That's right. Which was the first step in a long line of insane moves on your part where you buy a pinball machine in
and the funny thing
Texas
is,
or wherever, and we have to drive
when I bought that game in Atlanta, as I was closing the deal with this person, your show came on in his kitchen. And I turned, I heard it coming out over my shoulder, and I looked up, and I just looked at him, and it was we were writing out a receipt, and I said, "You like that show?" And he goes, "I love that show. I never miss that show. I come home every day to make that show at 3 p.m. because it's the best show on television." I'm like,
I'm gonna blow your
I have
mind.
something to tell you.
You'll never believe
You're not going to believe who I'm seeing. So that was pretty funny. That was a funny moment when I told him about you.